every smile a memory of every place I've been. Redheads, blondes, and cool brunettes, loved every girl I found. But I couldn't stick around too long. I like to spread myself around. They won't get me. They won't get me.
I've been holding off on this for a long time. Because it's too painful to go through this. To talk about Superman 3, The Search for Super Sex. There's really no way to introduce this other than to go into it, but Richard Donner was fired by the Salkinds, the producers of Superman movies, halfway through filming Superman 2. He was fired and Richard Lester was brought on to complete Superman 2. And in order for him to get a credit, he needed to direct at least 50% of the film. So Lester began reshooting the movie, and Gene Hackman, Ned Beatty, and E.G. Marshall and Valerie Perrine didn't want to reshoot, so they didn't reshoot. So that's why in Superman 2 you notice there is body doubles for Lex Luthor, because apparently we're supposed to believe that Lex Luthor all of a sudden has gotten shorter and talks like this. Hey! Ever heard of parachutes? When Superman 3 was made, it was a Salkind Lester total control film, because they didn't have to rely on Donner footage, they didn't have to rely on Donner at all, they could make their own thing. So, Superman 3 is definitely the movie that they envisioned to make for Superman. Alright, well, without any delay, let's go into Superman 3, as the trailer suggests.
This time is going to be the best time of all.
Okay, so it begins and Richard Pryor is there. The funny story, you want to know why Richard Pryor's in this movie? Because back when Superman 2 came out, Richard Pryor was on Johnny Carson, and apparently they got into a conversation like, hey, Superman, those are good movies, right? And Richard Pryor was like, hey, wouldn't it be fun to be in a Superman movie? Well, apparently the Salkinds literally thought so, because they signed him and hired him into this movie. And that's the problem, because they basically want him to be Richard Pryor the comedian and not Richard Pryor the actor. And that's a huge problem, as you will see. So anyway, Richard Pryor is collecting unemployment because he can't hold a job, because he has to hold the pickles, hold the ketchup, don't hold the ketchup, oh, itty-bitty, teeny-tiny television screens. So anyway, he can't collect unemployment, so he basically wants a light from somebody and finds an advertisement to go make money the fast way with computers. So then, cue the main title sequence and... What is this? Okay, you know, Superman 1 and Superman 2 have these bombastic opening credits in space with music, and this is the Three Stooges. You got penguins and blind guys falling over and phone booths knocking over and like Superman 3. It says Superman 3 on the screen. Nothing on this screen, nothing in this movie convinces me that this is a Superman movie. This cannot be a Superman movie. It can't be. Oh wait, there's Clark Kent, so it has to be a Superman movie. But what the... Oh god, so Clark Kent's walking around Metropolis, and apparently it's idiotic day in Metropolis because everyone's being a moron, and what is this? So anyway, some guy robs a bank and shoots out a car's tires, and a car crashes into a fire hydrant. And okay, wouldn't the water pressure break the windows? But no, it doesn't. The guy's drowning in his car. So then Clark Kent's got to turn to Superman. Okay, it's a cute bit. He goes into the photo booth as the kid is putting him money to get a picture, and then he, you know, yeah, it's cute, whatever. So then Superman flies over to the guy and saves him and gets him out of the car and then flies away. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but hey, Superman, shouldn't you get the guy who robbed the bank? Because we never see him again. Oh, God. Anyway, so then, whoop, 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 pie gags. It's, oh, God, this is truly the best Superman movie ever. So... immediately, Richard Pryor has gotten a job at this computer place and can press buttons and things happen. Anyway, the Daily Planet, they're playing bingo because whoever wins bingo gets to go to Columbia. Whatever. So, Jimmy Olsen is showing pictures to Perry White of the film's new villain. There's no Lex Luthor. It's Lex Luthor replacement, Ross Webster, his sister Vera, and some blonde ditzy lady. So anyway, Clark comes in and he's like, hey, Perry White, me and Jimmy Olsen are going to Smallville. Not that Smallville! Lois Lane, where's she going? She's being written out of the film, going to Bermuda. Now all of a sudden, Richard Pryor has gotten a job at Ross Webster's company, Websco or something, and he gets his first paycheck and he's upset because he wants the money now. He says he wants to get down, he wants to boogie, he wants to boogie woogie. So, he goes into the computer and gets all the deductions from other people's paychecks to be put into his paycheck so he gets more money. Because apparently you can do whatever you want with computers in this movie. So he does that, and he's getting rich. So anyway, Clark and Jimmy are on their way to Smallville. Not that Smallville! Okay, what is with this? Clark and Jimmy are on the bus, and Jimmy Olsen's like talking to Clark about his family or whatever, and Clark looks so uncomfortable, like he's gonna punch Jimmy in the face if he keeps talking. I thought Clark Kent was a nice guy. Why is he doing this? Anyway, on the way, they get stopped because there's a chemical fire. It's a wildfire, and it's,
I mean, that fire, it's spreading like wildfire.
Who made that guy a sheriff, really? Anyway, so Jimmy Olsen goes into idiot mode and is gonna take some pictures, and of course falls and breaks his leg. So then Superman's gotta save the day, and then he gets Jimmy Olsen and gets some medical attention, and then we never see him again. Whatever. So then Superman goes into the chemicals plant where the chemical fire is going on, and he tries to tell the scientist he gotta get out, and the scientist says, no, I can't get out. You wanna know why I can't get out? Because I have this acid over here. When it gets really hot, this acid will just explode. Oh no! Why do you have this acid here? Because it's gonna be used later on in the movie. Oh, okay. So Superman goes to a lake, freezes the lake, picks up the lake, throws it down on the chemical place. Basically, the fire and the heat turns into rain, and he saves the day.
I tell you, that man's a miracle.
Okay, so, Clark eventually arrives in Smallville. Not that Smallville! And he's at the high school reunion, and there's Brad, the football jock guy, and there's Lana Lang, who's played by Annette O'Toole. She played Martha Kent. I get it. Okay, so anyway, here's another nitpick. You see pictures of Clark Kent and Lana Lang in high school. It's like, oh, look at them, they were in high school. Okay, we saw what they looked like when they were in high school. Clark Kent was Jeff East, and Lana Lang was Pippi Longstockings. They weren't Annette O'Toole and Christopher Reeve. So why are they Annette O'Toole and Christopher Reeve in those pictures? Ah, it makes no sense! Now all of a sudden, back at Websco, Ross Webster has found out that someone is stealing money from him. And then he says my favorite line in the whole movie.
Mouths closed, ears open. Can't have anyone with me who isn't with me.
What does that mean? What? What? Okay, so anyway, he wants to find out who's stealing money from him, and Vera assures him that, well, you won't find out because it's not like anyone's stupid enough to give themselves away, and then Richard Pryor drives up in like a red Ferrari sports car. So, well, there is someone that stupid. Anyway, back at Smallville. Not that Smallville! Lana is telling Clark about how, oh, you know, she got divorced, she had to pawn off her wedding ring, and she's got an idiot kid, and she wants to know what it's like to live in Metropolis.
The big apricot?
Okay, so back at Websco, Ross Webster wants to see Richard Pryor, and Richard Pryor thinks he's going to go to jail, and he doesn't want to go to jail because in jail there's...
They have robbers and rapists who rape robbers.
In case you're wondering, this was written by the same people who wrote Santa Claus the movie.
Oh my God!
Not the Tim Allen one, the John Lithgow Christmas 2 one. Okay, so Ross Webster says, hey, I won't send you to jail if you help me. I want to control the coffee crop of Colombia. See, that connects. That connects! Is that so amazing? It connects! Colombia and coffee, Colombia and bingo! It's so amazing it connects! I can't believe it! So, he wants to rule the coffee crop of Colombia. Since the Colombians won't make a deal with him, he wants Richard Pryor to use a weather satellite called the Vulcan weather satellite to create a hurricane to destroy Colombia. How can a weather satellite make weather? He agrees to do it, and now back in Smallville, not that at Smallville! Basically, Lana's kid's going bowling with Clark, and Brad's trying to be an idiot and teach the kid how to bowl, and then of course he can't do it, so then Clark helps the kid bowl, and then uses a super sneeze for the kid to get a super strike. And by super strike, everything explodes! Way to give yourself away, Clark! Come on! The kid's not even that good! And plus, Lana Lang's not your love interest is Lois Lane! Okay, so anyway, Richard Pryor says, well, we can't go to a big computer, we gotta go to an itty-bitty small computer so no one can find out that we're using it. They agree that they have to go to someplace small. So the A story and the B story connect like this.
Help you, Lana. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Clark opened the door and crushed Richard Pryor's ribcage. Why didn't he just send him into orbit if we're implying that he hit him with such strength? Anyway, Richard Pryor goes to the facility where the Vulcan weather satellite control is, and it just happens to be security guarded by Brad. And even though Richard Pryor has never met Brad before in his life, he automatically knows he's an alcoholic and brings him tons of booze to get drunk. Okay, how does he know this? Number one, he could be psychic, or number two, the computer told him since he's good with computers. I don't know, it makes no sense. So Richard Pryor gets drunk too, so when he goes to activate the satellite, he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's making ATMs all over the world fart out money, and he's making street lights attack each other.
This time is going to be the best time of all.
Anyway, he finally gets the hurricane to appear and destroy Columbia, so Ross Webster and the other villains are celebrating on top of their mountain ski lodge resort building on top of a skyscraper in Metropolis, and they're watching the news about Columbia being destroyed, and they shut off the TV going, oh, everything's so great, and then Richard Pryor comes in and goes, wasn't my fault, I didn't do it, and Ross Webster's like, what are you talking about? You destroyed Columbia, I'm gonna own coffee, and now that I'm gonna own coffee, I'm gonna own oil, because that's my next scheme. What do you mean next scheme? What? Does this guy have like a book of evil plots to take over the world and he's just doing them one by one? Why? Okay, so anyway, Richard Pryor says, oh, you didn't see what Superman did? And here's the biggest problem with this movie. It's a Richard Pryor movie. And I know if you want to go straight to statistics, Superman, Christopher Reeve is in the movie longer than Richard Pryor, but no, the movie revolves around Richard Pryor. If it was a Superman movie, don't you think we would actually see Superman saving the day instead of a 5-minute stand-up routine about Richard Pryor telling us how Superman saved the day? You know what, just watch it, let's just watch it.
You didn't see the man come flying out of the sky from the clouds. It was him, with his cape flapping in the... His cape was flapping in the wind. He was flying. He was great. He was just flying around. Going in the wind like this. Looked like a flag. And he landed right in the middle of this big plantation. Dun, 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 dun. Right? And he checked everything out, right, with his X-ray vision before he did that. And then he flew into the tornado, went down to the bottom of the tornado, and turned it upside down. Crazy! I've never seen nothing like it.
Yep, oh, he's done talking. Okay, so Ross Webster is upset, and he's like, oh man, he destroyed my coffee scheme. How am I gonna do my oil scheme without Superman stopping it? Okay, why would Superman, stop a natural disaster anyway? It's not like he would help people during a natural, a weather disaster or something, but it's not like Superman knew that this was created by the villains. So, how does Ross Webster know that he's gonna stop my oil scheme? Because he stopped my coffee scheme. So anyway, Ross Webster's like, how do I kill Superman? And then Bimbo Lady says,
Kryptonite.
What?
Or Kryptonham, or Kryptonheimer?
oh yeah, Bimbo Lady is actually smart. She's pretending to be stupid. Why? Why not? Because it doesn't really add anything. It doesn't lead anywhere, it doesn't connect. It just is. Deal with it. So then, Ross Webster tells Richard Pryor to use the weather satellite to go scan kryptonite in space to find out what it's made of so they can synthetically make it. Is this a Swiss Army knife of satellites? What can it not do, for God's sakes?